Here's example 4 from section 3.6. Determine which lines, if any, must be parallel in the diagram. Explain your reasoning. So we've got to remember some of our parallel line rules, but we also got some perpendicular lines. And so I'm going to use, to start with, I'm going to use line S as a transversal. Okay, because line S is a transversal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore T and U. I'm going to ignore those lines. So we've got to look at S and then P and Q. We'll try that first. So so I'm going to use P and Q with S. Okay? And I'm going to ignore the black lines there. And what you see is that, oh, it looks like I've got two angles in here. What kind of angle pair are they? Well, they're consecutive interior angles. And we know by the consecutive interior angles theorem, if they add to 180 degrees, then it's parallel. So it must be that, so we know that P is parallel to Q by consecutive interior angles theorem. Okay? We know that's the first thing that's true, so let me erase some of that now. Okay, so we knew that because they add to 190 plus 90 is 180, we knew that P is parallel to Q. Okay, so I'm erasing some of that. Okay. Now the next thing we need to check is, what about if I use Q as a transversal and I compare it to S and T. And I'm going to ignore the other angles for now. And so I go, okay, if that's the case, then I know that this angle and this angle here, those two angles are corresponding angles. And since they're both 90 degrees, they're congruent. I'm going to erase that there. They're congruent. And so according to the corresponding angles postulate, that means S and T are parallel. So I'm going to write that. Line S and T are parallel by corresponding angles postulate. So we got that there. So let's do some more erasing. Okay, and so right now we know a couple things. We already said that P is parallel to Q, and we also said that S is parallel to T. Now I'd like to look at trying to do something with U. I like to do something with line U here. Unfortunately, I just don't have enough, there's not enough information. Those are supposed to be question marks. There's just not enough information with any of the angles. So there's nothing we can say about U. Okay? And then if you want, so there's nothing we can say about U. We have no relationship with U and T. Okay? So we're basically done. There's two things we know. We know, and I labeled it. So we're going to go, these are the two things we know. P is parallel to Q, and we also know that S is parallel to T. And that's really it. That's all we can say. We don't have enough information about U, so it really can't be matched with anything.